In this video, we're going to explore how we can create these Netflix movie cards. And these are absolutely amazing because as you can see here, as we move in from one side to the other side, we have all of these things here. And it shows here, the moment we hover over, you will see the message here or the video or the title of the movie, the button, you will see also a new image. And then as you mouse over and mouse out, you will see instantly this will adjust. And this is basically done pure in CSS and it looks absolutely phenomenal. You can see here, this creates a real nice user experience for your customers, very similar that Netflix uses as well. All the files, or we're going to the images, we all have them in the Google Drive, so you can download these files immediately and start at once. In this video, we're going to create what I would say a Google movie card or a Netflix movie card. And these kind of cards are really fascinating. I like the interactivity of it. So let's explore how we can create one. And these you've probably seen everywhere when you hover over the card and then you see the different image appear. Beautiful. Alright, so let's start and explore how we're going to do this. First of all, we have here a completely blank template here. And what we're going to do in here, we're going to first put in some basic HTML, and we have a very standard style here. You can see here this style code here is very straightforward. Alright, what we're going to do here first is let's make here a div. Now give this a class, or maybe you can give this a navigation. Nav, and then within here we could put it once. Alright, no need for that one for now. That's okay. This will be the movie box, I guess. Everything within here we will start to work on. And then what we can do here is we're going to create a card. So here's a div class, and we'll call this movie card. Very straightforward. And basically in the movie card we will have two items. We have, or basically three. We have the image. We have the other image that should be shown the moment we hover over it, and we should have a extra text indicating the movie, for example, the title of the movie, and of course the watch now button, or like a button on there, and it's quite nice. Alright, so we have this here. This is the movie card. So within here we can now start to work on. So what we're going to do in here, I'm going to put in the image, and I already have an image, so I'm going to use those images. And then I have another image here as well. I'm going to put that elsewhere in here. So this would be, if I'm not mistaken, Tom movie.png, and the other one would be movie, or the hero movie. Hero-movie, if I'm correct, save that. And then, oh no, I'm not correct, so maybe without the dash. No, alright, so I figured out the item here, movie Tom, movie-hero, that's it. Alright, so once we have this, we have two items here. So this is basically, I just took these basic images. You can take any image you want. If you want to follow along with this image, that's fine as well, because this is quite suitable. So for example, here we have Coffee the movie, where we have here the trailer or the basic template on the front, what we call the thumbnail, and then here we would have the hero movie, or this big screen of the movie. Alright, so this is the movie size. Alright, so what we have here more is of course a div. This div class will be movie title, and this movie title, I'll just remove here the dash. The movie title or movie text will contain a few items. It will contain a paragraph where we say coffee the movie, and then what we have as well is a button below here. Here we have a button or a link, whatever you want. We can make it a href, that's fine. That's more practical anyway, because it should be a link. And then in here we'll say view now, or watch, not view now, watch now, watch now. Alright, so this will get some proper CSS as well, and this will get also a proper matching CSS. Alright, so once we have this, we save this here. There you are. what we need to do is we need to compress these. What I want to do first is I want to give the MovieBox a proper CSS. So I say class MovieBox. And here in this class, we're going to say the following. We're going to say this will be a padding of 20 pixels. Next, what we want to have here is a display flex. And the reason why we want display flex is we want to put multiple movie cards beside each other. Alright, so what I mean by that is if we have this one here, let's add 3 more or 2 more. So we have a total of 3 items here. So now we have this here. Alright, so we have it in flex, so it looks fine. But of course, what we need to do more is we can say here align items, and then we say center. And then vertical align, if ever, no, not vertical align, this would be justify content. This could be also in the center, so we push it nicely in the center. Alright, we have these here. Eventually what we want to do is we want to set a fixed height and width here to ensure that this is proper, but we also want to put these all within here. So with that, you need to learn something very important, which is eventually what we call the, what is the proper term for that? The absolute positioning. That's the one we're going to focus on. So first we say here position relative, and we can say here border. We want to have a border here. We say solid 1 pixel, and then we say here dark. All right. Finally, what we can do here is, because here we're going to put in the width size as well, so we need to start with the width size. So we say width. We can do 120 pixels. And then we have is that the height? Yes. This is the height, that's 180 pixels. So eventually when you hover over, we want this to be consistent every time. But eventually you hover, it will only increase the width, not the height. This is why the images are big here. Alright, so we have now this, it looks a kind of mess. So don't worry about that, we're going to solve the mess. We have it now here, position relative, everything is fine. We have a padding here. I think the padding here in the MovieBox should be in the card. Alright, I realize that I'm in the wrong place here. We're going to move that here to the card. So I was already working on the movie card without thinking about it. So what we need is this item, all of these, in the movie card. Alright, the reason why this should only have all the items besides each other, like this. Alright, if you have more cards, everyone think eventually this needs to be compressed together. So we're going to do this right now. We have here the movie card, and then the movie card. We have this one, alright. So now what we need to do here is the following. We have all of these images and divs. We'll have the position absolute. Why is that? Here you have the relative. Relative means basically it is depending on wherever it is here. Alright, so depending on any other element within this location, and of course with their padding, etc, etc. So that's relative. So when we're going to use the position absolute, what we want to do really is that the image should stack on each other. So they should be on top of each other, but we want to show only one image first. Alright, so that's what we're going to do now. So we say here image, and what we can do here, should we give class? Well, we can say class. This should be a class because we'll be using a lot more commands here. We say here class thumb, and then here class hero. Alright, meaning that we want to show the thumb when we don't hover, and when we are on mouse over, or when we hover over the element, that moment hero should be shown, thumb should be hidden. Alright, so we say here thumb class, and you might notice normally I try to stack them on each other, but after I learned that is not really the best way to write CSS, the more efficient is to have lesser elements connected to each other, so it's easier to follow along, or easier for anyone else to dissect the CSS. So this is why I'm doing that now. So we say here the thumb. Alright, the thumb will be, well, we can just put in here this, alright, assuming that it's probably already like that, and then what we will say here, this will be position absolute. And then we say here we want to be in the top, but we're in the top. We want to be top in here in that corner here. Alright. So we say top 0 pixels or 0, no need to put pixels. Left 0. And then we can say here, because I see here we have the border. And if I look here, we have a border radius. Do we have a border radius? We should have it in the movie card. Am I correct? Do we have them? No, we don't have anything in the movie card. So what we have to do in here, basically, there should be a border radius, because that's important. The movie card. Border radius. Let's give this 5 pixels. And then what I notice is sometimes the border radius don't work properly with images. Well, sorry, it should be here. Not the movie box, movie card. Alright. Then here, because I know the image, sometimes you see just these corners, the edges still overlapping. So I say here, border radius 4. Alright. So once we have this, we can basically copy this as well. Put in here, and then we say hero. But hero will have exactly the same items here. Well, we should maybe do this one. That's probably even better. And a comma, dot hero. Cut everything out, including the border radius. But there's one difference with hero and the thumb, or the thumbnail. And the reason is this. One we will not show right now, and the other one we do. Meaning that here, we can say here, opacity, we will say 0. Not shown. But here we say opacity 1, meaning it's solid, showing it. When we save this here, there you are. You can see it's somewhere here, but it's gone, or it's probably here. Ah, you can see it's behind here. All right, but you can see it's kind of cropped, but that's all right. So now we have this here. Let's make sure that we copy all of this here. So I'm going to copy this one here, and maybe you can say here, copy the movie, episode 1. E1 space season 1 episode 1. I don't know, something like that. That's probably what they do in Netflix. So we're just copying the same structures here. Season episode 3, episode 2. Alright. Alright, so we've got them now. What we have to do here is put some margin around this here. So we have here some margin. So let's see where we can put the margin. The margin should be on the movie card, and more specifically, if possible, margin right. You can do margin everywhere. That would be fine as well. So we say on the movie card, margin, let's say 5 pixels. More than enough. There you are. So we have these cards here. All right. So what we want to do now is basically create the following part, which is in the hover effect. Basically, when we hover, we will do the following. So what I'm going to do is we're going to say here, I'm going to copy this, and I'm going to copy this one as well, because we need to do 2 things here. This will be done not on hover here, but more specifically, when we hover the movie card. Yes? So when we are over the card, not on the image, but on the card in general, everything else should match. Alright? So we say here, this hover card, or this movie card, hover, space, thumb. Copy this, copy that one as well. And here we're going to do the adjustment. So what are we going to do here? When we have here, we want to readjust the height and width, or more specifically, only the width. We want to make the width, let's say make this 220. We almost double the size, or 240, whatever you want. So when we do that, refresh, and now if you hover, alright, you can see now it's working. You still see here behind, if you refresh, you can see still the text. Don't worry about it, we're going to fix it later on. So we have this here, alright, and then what we can do here, this might be even 240, might even be nicer with the image. But you can see it's already moving, but not really that fluent, or not yet, because we're still, the card itself needs to move as well. So we need to go here to the movie card, copy that. And this one should also be indicated that the moment it hovers, it starts to, comma here as well, save this, refresh. As you can see, now it moves every other card on the side. Alright, we've got this now, and this looks quite nice. And the next thing what we need to do now is basically what we call a adjustment or of the transition. So basically, what happens is, when we hover over it, it jumps immediately, as you can see here. We don't want this. We want to have a gradual transition from the width. So what we're going to do here, let's see here, where are we now? If I'm not mistaken, in here, we will say transition. And once we transition, we will say transition. What exactly do we want to transition? We want to transition the width element or the width property. Yes, because we want to make the width. It jumps it here, but we want to make sure that this goes gradual. So let's say 1 second or maybe 0.5 seconds. It's more than enough. Alright, save that. Refresh. As you can see, it works. But not really that good, of course. However, we can solve that. So we say movie card here. Do we have this correctly? The width, yes. We have here the hover. It will adjust that. We need to make sure that this goes fluent, but that will be alright. We'll figure that one out. The next thing what I want to do is I want to copy this part here. Then I say here, the moment we are hovering over the elements, as you know, we need to switch them, meaning one becomes transparent and the other one becomes visible. So we save this now, refresh, and now there you are. So we have to just do some tiny adjustments here. However, we're getting there. And I just don't know why this image is immediately. Of course, probably here the image must be, of course, sorry. We have the movie card here, but we need to have the transition on the image as well. Yeah, that makes sense, of course. So we say here, put that in. Could we blend these together? Let's double check what is different here. There are some items that are different. There are some items that are consistent. Basically, this item we could remove. So what we're going to do is here, we could blend them. Well, we leave it for now. The reason why is if you blend it, we need to break some design. I don't want to touch it for now. Later on, we can do that. So if we refresh now, there you are. So now we have this absolutely, this is already appealing. It is so fascinating to do already. Alright, so now we have this. What is our next part here of our coffee the movie? Well, you remember our nice div movie text here. It's time to work on this one. So we're going to say here a movie text, and I want to reposition it in the proper place. I'm going to do it here, movie text. And then here we can do very similar. However, should we do opacity here? Well, I would say don't do opacity only. We need to do multiple. We need to use a z-index. And the reason why is we need to make sure that this is showing, but not right now. So if we do z-index 10, what will happen is we refresh. We might find here something. Well, let's do here z-index 1000. Let's see if we can force it out. No, we cannot. And the reason why is probably, of course, we didn't set up our certain items here. So what we could do is here in the movie text, we could copy this class and give the movie text the same bonus. Basically, we want the same fixed width, this, everything matching, but with some exceptions. So we save this, refresh, and now you can see here. So you can see here, this is why I don't want as well the z-index, because once it becomes absolute, the position absolute, it becomes solid in here, and I don't want this right now, because it should be only shown the moment we are hovering over it. Right now it shows this, so that's not good. Alright, let's start and explore that how we can do this. So that's why we say here, z-index -1, let's see if that works. Move over it, alright. Then what we do is here, copy this, and then we have this, and then we say here, z-index, let's give it 100, to make sure it will pop up. Alright, doesn't work here yet, move hover, what happens if I do 1000 to make sure? Alright, so it doesn't work here, so we're going to figure out that one later on. We have the hover, oh, of course, this is the hero, forgive me, movie text. Save that, refresh, there you are. So we see it now, but of course it's instant. Do we want that, or do we want a gradual transition? To do that, we need to probably make this transparent. Alright, so what we're going to do here, but before we even do that, I want to just adjust the text in here. So you can see here, these texts here, they should have a certain amount of items. So what I'm going to do here, we're going to give this, and I will probably movie text. I will just give this a easier way to do it. Should you do it like this? Well, in this case, I would say, alright, this is acceptable. However, normally I would say just give it a class here as well. But that's fine for now. This is just for simplicity and just to go fast with video. So we say here now, color could be white. We want to have a white color here. We want to make sure this is Hover, because we don't want to show the color when it's not Hover. We don't want to show anything. It should be transparent completely. And we can use that as opacity as well. And then what we say here, color white. And what we want to do more is the Hover P. And then what we have more, of course, is the other item, which is our link href. Yeah, so this one is this here because this is coffee, or if you want the Netflix color, say it's red, you make it red. You can make it red, and then here href. Oh no, this you make probably white, and then we say here background. So we can use just brown for coffee. Well, it's quite appropriate. And then what we want to do here is the following. We can say here. Because this is a border, we need to make border radius. So because it's a button, I want to make a nice button style, border radius, and then we say here 5 pixels, padding, 5 pixels top and bottom, left and right 10 pixels. And once we have that one, we can say here background color, we have padding, this and that. Then we say text declaration of the link. None. We don't want to show that. So if we are here now, refresh, there you are. Alright. So as you can see, what happens here exactly, we have to double check. Alright. You can see what happens here. We didn't set yet the width. The width needs to be assigned as well. So the moment we have this Hover, the MovieText must have the exact same width. So we can copy that. Hero, and what is that? Movie text. This would be color here, and this could probably be also matching, I realize, but we can look on that one. Alright, so once we do that, is the width here. We can double check just to ensure. Let me make this a mobile, and then we click on it. Fair enough. Let's see what is the width here. MovieText. Let's see with the MovieText. I'm going to double check the MovieText because I don't like the MovieText set on a width here. It shouldn't be MovieText. Forgive me. It should, it should be MovieText. This is the MovieText. It should be on Hover, but somehow something is not responding. Well, let's double check here. We have this now, MovieText, and something that's extremely weird. The image here. So I'll have to double check this, what's going on here. Hover, this. Then we have the MovieText Hover, alright. Well, we'll look at that. If we have this here, so we don't see this, let's double check here. What is going on here? We have this one, and why is this? Alright, this is index C. And then the moment we hover on the element, so I want to hover this element, or focus and active. Alright, then what happens here? Alright, so I cannot yet figure it out, but don't worry, we'll figure this one out. What we want to do, of course, as well, is want to push this down. Let's push this down here. So what we're going to do is, we have the movie text. Alright, this one we want. So we want to have here in the movie text, we'll say here, it will be our display, Flexbox. And the reason why it's Flexbox, we're going to play around with these. Alright, so you can see this now. Don't worry about this. We want to push this still down. Of course, sorry. You see here, I just realized it probably forgot a comma, and I just noticed it just stops out of me. I was looking at it, so now if you see this, that is it. So that looks better. That's why it was not responding properly. So now the only thing is just reposition these. Alright, so that was a tiny issue. So now we're going to push this down here. So we say here align items. And I say center, pushing it here. Once we did that, now they're beside each other, but then what we want to do is, or maybe it will be flex start. That might be as well. So we'll check with that one. Let's say justify content, flex start, and then we say here, because this one we want to have it top and bottom, meaning that it should be top and bottom, but here in the corner, somewhere down. The watch now should be down, and just above will be the Coffee the Movie Season 1. So we say here, flex direction, column. Save that, refresh. Alright, we have this now, we have the flex start. That means we need to do this flex end. We'll push it down. Once you push it down, then this one should be as well flex end, or no, sorry, flex start. Save that. Now we have it there. Alright, that looks slightly better. Now what I want to do is, I want to give this some padding. Padding of 5 pixels. Save that. Oh. 5 pixels, well, we could do 10. 10 is fine. Refresh, and there we are. So now we have that, but you can see still what happens here. Now we have this. I'm not so satisfied. Well, we can cut away this Coffee the Movie. I'll just call it Coffee Season 1. Yes. Well, we can do here maybe truncate of text, but that's alright. For now, not important. Alright. But what I want to do, I want to make sure that this has some padding. Padding, sorry, not, padding. Or the bottom can have a margin top of 5 pixels extra to push this more up the title of the movie. So let's do that. This is the item, so we say here margin top 5 pixels. Save that. Refresh. That looks slightly better. And then what we can do here is the following we could do here. Because let's look at as we hover over. Pay attention to this here. This goes so fast, it jumps in and comes back instantly. I don't like that. To be honest, that is not really nice. So what we're going to do is we're going to do a transition, specifically indicating on the item itself. So this part here. Oh, sorry, that will be not there, but we need to do that on the movie text. So the movie text will get a transition here, and this transition will be specifically on. So what we could do probably is opacity. To give it opacity, so it will gradually appear and disappear. But maybe we could do it also on the Z index. So we have to see how this will respond. We save this, refresh, and then there you are. I don't like that. Now, as you can see, look, it gets a horrible design. All right, so that's not good. So what we need to do here, we say here, probably the opacity, and then I guess we have to do some adjustments as well here. Opacity, and this opacity will be then solid, and here opacity will be hidden. Let's see if this works, and if not, we will be using visibility none or visibility hidden. That might be as well a solution. So we say save this, refresh, let's check. Alright, do we like that? Slightly, oh, you can see here something doesn't work well here. The image is slightly adjusting, but I don't like it's instant. Well, that's alright, although it's not bad. Or you can see now, it's, if you really pay attention, it goes quite fast. Let's slow it down a bit. Let's make this 2 seconds. As you can see, okay, it comes very, very gradual. So that will be fine. So I would say this is acceptable. I don't know about the image. I do have a feeling that the image is quite fast in adjusting. So why don't we check with the image as well? So we see here, we want to have the following. The moment we hover over, the opacity should be this. So let's look at our thumb hero item, thumb and hero. Then I guess this is what we need to adjust. Save that, refresh, and we are. Oh, that doesn't look nice. No, absolutely hideous. Sorry. That will be not the way. Let's double check here what we have more. Then if we check here on our thumb, do we have anything on our thumb here? No. Alright, so I'm going to show you another way to do it because I'm not satisfied. Because what happens now is the width is losing as well. And the reason why the width is losing here because we need to put in here the width. So we say here comma, and then we say as well width, and then we say width 0.5 seconds as well. So together we have the opacity that gradually adjusts, but also the width. So we have two elements in the transitioning phase. Save that, and then refresh, and let's see. There you are. That looks way, way nicer. So now we've got this, and this is basically already it. What can we do more? I have no idea what we can do more. Well, what we could do is maybe check here on mobile. And what happens if we do mobile, you can see it looks, basically you should be clicking somewhere. Let me double check. What I'm going to do is I'm going to select here the iPad size, and then I'm going to check how we can solve this nicely. And let's rotate that. Alright, so once we click on this, it doesn't work at all. Alright, but let's solve that one. So we have here the hover, and what we could do here, the moment we hover, but on mobile, you cannot do that. So what we can do instead of hover, we can do active. Alright, so that's what we're going to do. We're going to say this, or active, meaning that when you press on it or touch on it with your phone, you will show it. Same story here. This, and we say here, active. Another one here. This is also active. We have hover active. Well, I'll just make this here. I also want this just for consistency's sake. It just looks way nicer. Paste it in here, comma here. Alright, and we say here, active. So the moment we are active, we have this here, that looks nice. We have this comma, okay, that's fair, fair, fair. This is all correct, but we need to solve them all. As you can see here, I'm going to do them all now. And this would be normally the best way to do it. Put in this here and say active. Same here. This comma, active. Same here. Comma, active. What I will just do, just to make it faster here and then here as well. Comma, and then you can just type it here once. Copy this, paste, paste. Are we missing any item? Active, active, hover. Alright. Let's save this, refresh. Now, we should click on it. There we are. And if we click on another one, there you are. So now we have it mobile responsive. This is absolutely phenomenal. And basically what we could do here, and then we could do here all different images. And then you have here like Coffee the movie, season 1, season 2. And then you could even do here some fancy design. But this is really, really fun. And now you really have your own nice design here. Let's make it more fun by adding a few more items in here. Let's double check here. Alright. I'm going to put in a few. Watch now, and then this would be number 4, 5, and finally number 6. So I didn't have any extra images. It's a pity. That would be even nicer if you have a few. You could feel like you're watching really Netflix design. And this is basically the way to do it. We could even, if you want, to give the background here a or the body tag a nice color here. Let's say here background 333. Save that. There you are, and then we could put in even here some text, welcome to Netflix, etc, etc, and there you are. This is the way how you can do this, and this is absolutely fun, and this is quite nice, even mobile responsive, making sure that what happens if you're on a mobile phone. Let's double check here. Oh, we have here something on mobile that we might, let's refresh. You can see your mobile, alright, because this is not good. Okay, I thought I solved it already, but no, we have to double check here. What is this? The movie box has a fixed width. Where's the movie box? Padding. width is 100%. Let's see if that works. Display flex. Well, I will have to double check on this. Maybe here we could do, probably, we could say here, if it's in mobile on this level, making it smaller, putting it down here, or putting it like in a slider. I will make it probably, that will be a nice video for a continuation of this one. But in the next video, I will create it and we will continue on fine-tuning this. Thank you for watching this video and I hope you enjoy it. And if you enjoy this video, you probably will enjoy this one as well. And if you're interested in chart.js, check out in the description box the link directing to my chart.js course where you can learn everything about chart.js. And finally, of course, make sure you subscribe to my channel.